these later. Okay, so what did I title the thing? The space program and getting back on track, I think. So I'm reading The Slight Edge right now, and it's good. Have you read this? Oh, just relax. So it's really, really similar to The Compound Effect. Like it's the same idea. It's just written by a different person, basically. And honestly, I like The Compound Effect better, but there's some really good stuff in this one too. So anyway, this chapter, he's talking about like investing in yourself and staying on course and things like that. And so he talks, I was going to read this whole thing, but I don't think I will. Basically, he gives like a little bit of backstory about the Apollo rocket and its trip to the moon, and how on its way to landing astronauts safely on the surface of the moon, the miracle of modern engineering that was an Apollo rocket was actually on course only 2 to 3% of the time, which means that for at least 97% of the time it took to get from the Earth to the moon, it was off course. In a journey of nearly 250,000 miles, the vehicle was actually on track for only 7,500 miles. Or to put it another way, for every half hour the ship was in flight, it was on course for less than 1 minute, and it reached the moon safely and returned to tell the tale. So he kind of just talks about how, like, I think sometimes we think if we're not on track all the time, like, we can't recover, basically, right? And so we just get frustrated because we're off track and we don't know what we should do and how. But really, the more important thing than being 100% on track is knowing how to re-correct yourself and get back to where you want to be. And so the kind of sum up of that story that I really liked and kind of made me want to talk about this was, he said, the next time you're giving yourself a hard time because you feel like you've gotten off track, think about the Apollo program and give yourself a break, which I just like. So, I mean, even a spaceship, right, which is like ridiculous and like billions of dollars and the smartest people ever have taken their time to build it, is like almost never on track, right? So as long as we can kind of figure out how to notice and recognize that we're not on track and take that time to kind of recorrect and think about what we need to do to get back to where we should be or where we want to be or headed in the right direction towards what our plan was, that's really more important than actually having like a straight shot to wherever we're going. And so kind of just along the lines of that, and this is an assignment for everyone that's not on the call too, so I want to kind of check in with everybody on their own. We've been talking about this a lot. I don't know if you've been checking in on the Team Inspire calls or if you've been getting if you've gotten on the last couple National Wake Up calls, but or if you watched that Summer Tucker video I posted in here. But for the last couple weeks, kind of the leaders on Team Inspire have been talking a lot about a vision, building our vision, and like writing it down and sharing it with people and having a vision for our teams and ourselves and our families. So we had a really good call last night, and I kind of just wanted to extend that to my own team and kind of have us have the same assignment and share, like where we're at and where we want to be, because I think that putting it out there keeps you more accountable. And if I know where you want to be, then I can kind of remind you about where you want it to be when you kind of start to get off track, or ask how you're doing with staying on track. So these are 4 or 5 little points that you don't have to answer tonight, because I want you to kind of take some time and think about them. But write them down or listen to this again and write them down. And then we'll go over them next time or on individual calls. So the first question is, the first thing to do is write down your vision. So where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years with this business, with your marriage, with your other job, if you want to keep your other job, if you want this to be a full-time thing. But what does your business look like? What does your team look like? What does your marriage look like? Your house look like? Kind of just everything. What are you seeing for yourself in the future? So that's number 1. Number two is, what are you going to do differently? So if you want to get different results than what you're currently getting, then you're going to have to change something that you're currently doing, right? So, so for my, and I've shared this with you guys a little bit, but I'm working on kind of solidifying it, but my vision is that I have the option if I want to not have my job anymore. And I honestly don't know if I even want to not have my job anymore, if that makes sense. But I want the option to say, like, yeah, I only want to do my athletic training, or I want to work 10 hours a week or whatever. I want to be able to be totally in control of how much I'm working. I want to be out of credit card debt and have the freedom to travel whenever I want to, go see my family, or just go to the beach for a weekend or whatever. And I want our team, I haven't really shared this because I just kind of started thinking about this, but I want our team to be close and support each other, have friendships, and I want to have a team that can and wants to have like team get-togethers once or twice a year with just our smaller team, which hopefully will not be super small for too long, but just like have some get-together so we really can have some bonding and friendships within our team. What am I fighting for? And that kind of goes back to my, so what am I going to do differently? So in order to get there, and one thing I'm really focusing on, again, which I've been really slacking on, is my personal development. And I'm making space every day to find at least 10 minutes, but hopefully longer most of the time, to listen to National Wake Up Calls and other podcasts and read good books, which I was doing really well at and have really kind of fallen off. And so I'm making a serious effort to do that. And it's kind of amazing how fast you get like pumped up again when you get really back in the habit of that. So that for now is what I'm going to do differently. But I'm also working, and this has kind of been all year, on building more relationships and with my challengers and with my coaches, and just to kind of talking to people, because I tend to just kind of move on to the next thing. So really taking that time to build relationships with people. The third question is, what am I fighting for? And so that kind of relates to my vision, but my main thing that I'm fighting for is freedom. So lots of different kinds of freedom: financial freedom, freedom to travel, freedom to work or not work, freedom to spend time with my family, but really for my freedom to do what I want and to be in charge of my life. The question number 4 is, if you couldn't fail, what would you do? And that's what I'm still kind of working on, because I don't feel like I'm super afraid of failing. But I'm sure there's something that's holding me back, but I haven't been able to identify what it is yet. And then number 5 is, what am I willing to sacrifice to get what I'm fighting for? And so for me right now, that's going to be some TV time. I don't have a ton of time to sacrifice, and I know you don't either. And so probably scrolling Facebook instead of working when I'm supposed to, which I've been working on. Just unplugging more when I am being with my family so that I can have that time to spend with them and not be on my phone the whole time. And a little bit I'm trying to let go is being neurotic about how clean my house is, because this is really important to me, and I don't have time to spend as much time as I want cleaning my house if I'm really going to take time to focus on stuff. So, and I might be sacrificing some money to pay someone to clean my house because it makes me a little crazy. So, so that's kind of, I mean, those are kind of short answers for mine. I could talk about them for a long time, but just kind of so you get an idea of those 5 questions. So number 1, what's your vision? Number 2, what are you going to do differently to get there? Number 3, what are you fighting for? Number 4, if you couldn't fail, what would you do? And number 5, what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you're fighting for? So I think that just verbalizing some of that, writing some of that down, goes a long way in kind of making it real, right? Like actually are like, yeah, this really is what I want to have happen. So if you feel like you know any of those things off the top of your head and you want to talk a little bit about them, we can. And if you feel like you want to have some time to just think about it and put time into it, then I'm fine with that too, because I'm kind of putting you on the spot with no preparation too. So that's kind of what I have. Thoughts, questions, anything else to talk about?
I think that's a good place to start. Or restart, maybe I should say.
Yeah, and I think we're all kind of in that restart right now.
I think it's been, I know for me, there's a lot of change everywhere I look. So prioritizing where I put my energy is a big deal for me. And I know that, like, I'm not being good for me. So, like, that's my number one focus right now is doing.
Oh, you froze. Crap. Uh-oh. Are you coming back? Oh, there you are.
Here we are. Yeah. But I want to kind of think about those things that you talked about and really kind of like write down where I'm at and then share it with the group.
Yes. And I, just so you know, because I know you like a schedule and I've been like all over the place lately, we're going to hopefully in the next week figure out a schedule like with the leaders on our team so that I can say like this is always going to be the third week, because we're trying not to have like, I thought this was a different week than we were on based on what we talked about with Tiffany last time. And so I scheduled it for this week, and then the Rockstar call was on Monday, and then we ended up having a team leader call last night, and I'm like, crap, I have 3 calls this week. And I think it's important and helpful to be on these calls, but I think that I don't want like Tiffany doesn't want, I don't want people to be like having to pick and choose or feeling overwhelmed like there's so many calls and then you don't get on any. So we're trying really hard, like within Team Inspire, to just have 1 call a week. And if you want to do extra like one-on-one calls or whatever, that's fine. But so that you can get on them and it's not like I'm not doing any of these because there's too many that need to be on that call. So hopefully we'll have that schedule pretty soon so I can say this is when we're always going to do our calls. And thanks for being patient, because I know we've been switching it up a lot lately and it's kind of making me crazy too, because I like to have a schedule. So that's in the works.
I think it's super helpful that the group itself, the Inspire group, is a little bit more active. I think it makes you want to do a little bit more. I mean, that's how I am. If everybody else around me is doing something, then I kind of feel the need to do the same thing.
Right.
So I think it's helpful. I mean, it is your business and you're in charge of it, but it's nice to kind of see everyone doing the same thing, or, you know, putting their excuses aside to make something happen. So I think that's kind of like little fire under me that everybody else is trying to make something happen. So it makes me want to make something happen. Contagious.
Yes, it's good. And we have 2 new people on our team they're kind of both of them trying to figure out how and how much they want to be involved right now, but I think both of them are going to be awesome and like will be on calls and things with us shortly. So that should be good. Not that I don't love hanging out with you, but I think it's good if we have a little extra support happening in here and some other ideas rather than just listening to you talk all the time. And Summit is next week, and they will, I mean, I know you don't have all day to just sit and listen to stuff, but they do like broadcast it live. And I can't remember where exactly that is, but I'm sure it's like,
I'm sure you can find it
somewhere. I'm sure it's not hard. You're better at finding that stuff than I am anyway. But so I would just kind of make a mental note of that Friday and Saturday. And if you have any time where you can sit down and listen to stuff, I would do it. Like it's kind of like a game changer. I came home and last year, August was like by far my best month right after we came back from Summit. So there's just like an overwhelmingly amount of overwhelming amount of really amazing information and helpful stuff, and it just kind of gets you pumped up from hearing all the things everyone's doing like you're saying. So there's that. And then Team Cup. Do you have an interest in doing a Team Cup in August? You don't have to. No pressure.
I tend to suck at it.
Well, get that attitude out of your head. You can always get back on track. You know, we're not like slave driver about it. Like, I'm going to be pissed if you don't get Success Club 40 or something. But,
I mean, like, if you need somebody, then you can put my name down. I just know with preseason starting and I'm not really sure where I'm going to be, that I mean, if I stay where I am, it's like better, but if I switch schools, then I'm not really sure what I'm in for. So if you need somebody, you need another person, like, I will do it and I will do my best. But if you're looking
to make you do your best,
if you're looking for somebody who's like gonna win you the Team Cup,
no, I'm not trying to win the Team Cup. But I'm not even trying to win the Team Cup. But if you want to and you want a little push, not like a big shove. But if you're feeling like you want that right now, you're welcome to join. You don't have to tell me today. We don't have to sign up till next week. So let me know. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine. But I just want to talk to you again. So yeah, that's all I got, I guess. Unless you've got anything else.
I don't think so. Okay. How's your groups going?
Good, really good. It's been good to get all these new moms for some reason. So, not for some reason. I think because I relate to them, because that's my people right now. So, it's working better, and I'm just in a better place. So I think my groups are better because I'm not just scheduling posts, right, and like leaving them alone. I'm actually like involved in what's going on. So.
I was gonna say, it looks like your posts are like getting like more kind of traction, so to speak. Like you're getting a little bit more like feedback or like comments, likes, whatever, engagement. So that's good.
Yeah, it is good, and it's slow, right? It's not like tomorrow I'm gonna have 20,000 followers. So
well, and I'm pretty sure they changed the algorithm again or something stupid. So
it's always changing. That's just what's going to happen, right? There actually is, and I don't think this necessarily is an issue that you have, but the team or the National Wake Up Call from last week, Barbie Kalev did it, who I think, I need to look it up. I'm pretty sure she's Siggy's wife. But that's a weird last name for it not to be, and I've seen her in videos.
Yeah, or related, like a sister or something.
Well, she's like Hispanic and he's Israeli, so I'm pretty sure they're not brother and sister. I don't know, crazier things have happened, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she did the call, and one of the she just did like a couple of bullet points on how to like, I can't even remember what her main theme was. Anyway, it was really good, but like a couple of them were how to like embrace change, not just be okay with change, but how to be better at like being excited about change, basically, which I thought were really good. So if you're feeling like you need that, awesome. But just kind of along this vision thing, if you have 20 minutes and can listen to Summer Tucker's wake up call from, I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe it was last week.
Is she frantic?
A little bit. She's a little bit frantic, but not like she normally is. Oh, thank you. Ari made me this heart today.
Can he make me one?
Oh, can you make one for Amy? She wants one. At Grandma's house. Well, we don't have the stuff here, so it'll have to
Go back to Grandma's. Maybe not.
I tried to borrow
Yeah.
stuff today, but
She didn't want you to borrow it. No. So anyway, Summer Tucker's call, she's not as frantic as she normally is. It's a little bit easier to listen to. She's a little bit more calm. But she basically talks about this vision stuff assignment that I just gave. And even though she is a little bit stressful, I think she's really good at getting people kind of fired up. So if you feel like you start to sit down to think about this stuff and you're like, oh, I really don't want to, listen to her call first and then go back and try it again, and you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I'm writing my vision down. I'm changing my life. Because, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but she kind of does that for me a little bit when she's not freaking out. So, yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay.
enjoy your life, your night, I mean, and your life.
I'll do my best.
Take a deep breath. You'll
All right.
survive preseason and all of your house shenanigans and your job stuff.
Oh yeah. Just bring it on all at once. Just give it to me.
That's right. Then, like in 3 months, life's gonna feel super easy.
I know. I'm gonna be like, ah.
That's right.
I'll be able to sleep for more than like 3 hours. It'll be awesome.
Yes, that would be awesome. Okay, cool. Well, get some sleep.
Okay.
Cry.